Welcome back to episode 3 for this evening on what you should and should not do. If you reach the pinnacle of your career where you find yourself being an investigator for an office, governing body, such as the Attorney General's office, and you get a complaint about the professional basketball team in the Valley, one of many that you receive annually, by the way, you should do a thorough investigation. What you should not do is the bare minimum and collect no documentation, only to tell the person that you're not going to continue investigating more because they didn't submit enough documentation. So if you find yourself being an investigator for the Attorney General's office, you should do a thorough investigation, whether it's for a handyman, someone like me who is the head of, anyway, you already know the things. You should take your job seriously because you are serving justice for people so that your community is as safe and as sound as it possibly could be. So, for example, if the head of HR and the chief legal counsel of the professional basketball team says that they fired someone because her actions and behaviors were detrimental to the team and the organization, not only should they have to prove that, they should also have to submit documentation regarding that as well. And there should be an attempt to collect said documentation. While my investigation was with the Attorney General's office, none of that happened. They said they did a thorough investigation, and yet there's no emails that were submitted. There was no footage of the incident that was submitted. Um, there was no letter of termination that was submitted. There is no nothing outside of them just saying that they did a thorough investigation, which is why I continue to believe, in my opinion, that there are people within that basketball organization that are connected to the Attorney General's office. So when complaints come in, they're not taken seriously, which to me is a problem. It shouldn't matter. If you have a governing body like the Attorney General's office, and it is your job to investigate so that the people in your city, town, or area are safe at work, are compensated so that they can take care of their family from the work that they do, you should certainly take the complaints that come in seriously rather than just dismiss them to protect the basketball team who continues to get in trouble for issues with racial discrimination, sexual harassment, all kinds of things, wrongful termination, physical assaults, sexual assaults, all kinds of wild stuff that actually causes hurt and pain to real life everyday people. So if you find yourself in a role where it is your job to investigate, I suggest you actually investigate rather than listen to the higher ups maybe that tell you to just do the bare minimum because that is your job. If I say that I have all this different documentation, you should be able to produce incidents where you attempted to collect that documentation from me. There should be follow up. And if you interview two people that corroborate those things, and there's a witness list of almost 15, 16 people, you should keep investigating and deposing people on the witness list rather than stopping all investigations to protect the basketball team. So I know that those jobs are stressful and hard and detail oriented, but if that is the job that you took, the job that you went to school for, or the job that you were promoted into, you should actually do that job so that people like me don't have to go through 3 years of slander, libel, defamation, having threats put on my life, having people stalk me, having people harass me, and having the owner of the basketball team dismiss my claims, having the head of HR lie and perjure herself in her depositions. There should be some actual accountability. Chris Mays, I know you're running for Attorney General, and I'm not saying that you had anything to do with this because you are the Attorney General, but people within your office certainly should learn how to do better.